Hey, it's Mike. Have you ever wondered why you keep ending up with the same kind of person over and over, even though you swear you'll never do it again? You might think it's bad luck, but the truth is, there's a deep psychological reason you're attracting the wrong people. Today, I'm going to reveal exactly what's going on beneath the surface, and most importantly, how to break this cycle for good. Stick around, because by the end, you'll understand how your own mind is quietly sabotaging your relationships. So, let's dive in. First, we need to talk about your subconscious patterns. You might be shocked to know that our brains are wired to repeat what's familiar, even if what's familiar isn't good for us. Crazy, right? It's called repetition compulsion, and it explains why you keep dating emotionally unavailable people or people who don't truly value you. On some deep subconscious level, your mind feels comfortable with this pattern because it's predictable, even if it hurts. But here's the twist. Just knowing this isn't enough. You need to understand why your brain formed these patterns in the first place. It all comes down to early life experiences, usually from childhood. If you had caregivers who were emotionally distant, inconsistent, or critical, your brain got programmed to see this as normal. And guess what? As an adult, you're still unconsciously seeking that familiar dynamic because it's what your brain expects relationships to look like. But how do you spot these patterns before it's too late? Let's break it down. Think about your recent relationships. Did you notice any early signs or red flags you ignored? Perhaps they weren't fully present emotionally, or they consistently prioritized their needs over yours. Yet somehow you brushed it off or made excuses. Here's the catch. Your subconscious mind was actually driving you to overlook these warning signs. Now, let me ask you something important. Have you ever heard of the confirmation bias? It's another powerful psychological force at play. Essentially, confirmation bias means you unconsciously look for evidence to support your existing beliefs, even if those beliefs harm you. If deep down you think you're unworthy of true love or respect, you'll subconsciously focus on signs that confirm this belief. So when someone doesn't text you back or cancels plans last minute, your subconscious quietly says, "See? This proves it. I knew I wasn't worth it." But don't worry, you're not stuck here. There's a powerful way to start changing these patterns, and it begins with becoming consciously aware of your subconscious beliefs. You might think you already know what these are, but often they're hidden so deeply, you're completely unaware of them. So how do you uncover these hidden beliefs, and more importantly, how do you actually change them to start attracting the right people into your life? I'm going to share a method with you in a moment that's simple but extremely effective, and it could honestly transform your entire relationship future. Before we get there, though, there's one more crucial thing you need to understand, something called the familiarity principle. This psychological principle explains why we're often drawn to what's familiar rather than what's good for us. Even negative familiarity can feel comfortable simply because it's predictable. Think of it this way. Have you ever noticed that you instantly feel drawn to someone who reminds you of a past partner or even a parent figure? This happens subconsciously and can lead you directly back into unhealthy relationship patterns. Your brain mistakenly equates familiarity with safety, and before you know it, you're stuck repeating the same painful story. But here's the good news. Once you recognize this pattern, you can break free. So, ready to finally flip the script? The method I'm about to share next is based on proven psychological strategies designed specifically to reprogram these subconscious patterns. And trust me, once you learn how to implement this, you'll never see relationships the same way again. Here's what you do. Start by consciously redefining what feels familiar to your subconscious mind. Sounds complex, but it's actually simple. You need to actively introduce your brain to new relationship dynamics that are healthy, supportive, and respectful. The easiest way to start? Surround yourself intentionally with people who embody these positive qualities, even if they're just friends or mentors. The more you're around these types of relationships, the more your brain begins to recognize this healthy dynamic as normal. But there's an even deeper layer to the solution, and it's something most people completely miss. Self-validation. Here's why it matters. Your subconscious beliefs about what you deserve in relationships are directly linked to how you truly feel about yourself. If deep down you don't feel worthy or valuable, you'll unconsciously attract partners who reflect that belief back to you. So, to stop attracting the wrong people, you absolutely have to start seeing yourself differently first. Ask yourself honestly, how do you speak to yourself in your own mind? Are you critical, judgmental, or harsh? Would you ever speak to a friend the way you speak to yourself internally? Probably not, right? And yet, your internal dialogue shapes how you perceive yourself. Change your internal dialogue to supportive, kind, and respectful, and you'll gradually change the type of person you're naturally attracted to, and who becomes attracted to you. Here's a powerful daily practice you can use. Every morning, take a few minutes to write down 3 qualities you genuinely appreciate about yourself. It sounds small, but it trains your subconscious to focus on your worthiness and value. Over time, this shifts your internal narrative, gradually transforming your relationship patterns from the inside out. Now, what about boundaries? You've heard the advice to set boundaries, but do you actually know how and why they're crucial to breaking this cycle? Boundaries aren't just about saying no, they're about clearly communicating to yourself and others what you will and won't accept in a relationship. Think of boundaries as guidelines that protect your emotional well-being and self-respect. By setting clear boundaries, you actively reinforce the subconscious belief that you deserve respect and kindness. But here's something really interesting. When you start setting boundaries, you'll quickly notice something surprising. People who genuinely respect and value you will appreciate your boundaries, while those who don't will naturally drift away. This automatically filters out the wrong types of people, making room for healthier relationships. Another key point, be prepared to initially feel uncomfortable when you start breaking these patterns. Why? Because your subconscious mind will resist the unfamiliar at first, even when it's healthy. But this discomfort is actually a sign that you're making real progress. Remember, growth happens just outside your comfort zone. If you're feeling slightly uneasy, you're probably on exactly the right track. Finally, let's talk about clarity. To attract the right people, you must become crystal clear on what you genuinely want in a relationship. Have you ever sat down and clearly defined the qualities and values you want in a partner? Most people haven't. And without this clarity, your subconscious will keep defaulting to what's familiar, even if it's unhealthy. Here's a simple yet effective exercise. Take time today and write down 5 non-negotiable qualities your ideal partner must have. Things like emotional availability, honesty, kindness, or reliability. By clearly defining these qualities, you're instructing your subconscious exactly what to look for, making it much easier to spot the right people when they appear in your life. Remember, you're never stuck attracting the wrong people. You have the power to change these patterns completely. By actively redefining what's familiar, practicing self-validation, setting clear boundaries, and gaining clarity on your relationship goals, you're literally rewiring your subconscious mind. Soon enough, you'll naturally attract healthier, fulfilling relationships without even having to think about it. Stick around because in the next video, I'll be diving even deeper into how to build incredible emotional connections from the start. Ensuring the right people not only enter your life, but stay there. You definitely won't want to miss it.